everybody, welcome to my channel, Goddess Goddard, and today I'll be doing a pick a card reading about what kind of freak are you, or how are you debaucherous. And this can also be a pick a card asking about what kind of things maybe your partner or potential interest is into. So any sort of kink, any sort of weird thing like that, this is the pick a card reading for you. So you can also pick more than one item. That's totally fine. I get that question a lot. That's okay. I would say that because I only have 4 items today, to only pick 2 at the most. So our items today are this skull. The skull is item number 1. If you like that one, then that's the pick a card for you. Number 2 is this like baby's little demon baby, and this is option number 2. And then option number 3 is Anima Sola, and it's the woman in flames. So if you feel like the woman in flames is you, then that's option number 3. And then number 4 is our skulls. So if you feel like the group of skulls is calling out to you, then that's group number 4. So I'm gonna give you a second to kind of look over these 4 items. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And make your selection at any time. So I'm going to have the numbers actually in the comments. So you can scroll down and you can go straight to the pick a card for each one of those. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna get started with our first one today. I'm gonna move this one over. I'm gonna move this guy up here with the flash. I'll put it right there with those skulls. All right. So our first card is the Hangman. And then we have the Manara Tarot, which is kind of like a erotic comic fiction from like the 80s. The first card is the 4 of Water. So Moon in Cancer. And then number 2 is the 3 of Fire. The 4 is the Devil card. And then we have the Moon, the Queen of Wands reversed, and Justice. So I think with this particular person that there's this, so I'll show you guys these cards. So this was the 4 of Water. This was the 3 of Fire, which is like a lady hooking up with some guy on a park bench. And the Devil card, which is pretty cool, which has the devil opening up the wings of, or this man opening up the wings for this like devil woman. So I think what might be going on with this kink is maybe like this like need to like have sex publicly, or is into like maybe having people watch, or having like a random hookup happen, you know, at like any sort of occurrence is like really sexy to this person, I think. The other things that I'm thinking about is the Moon, the Queen of Wands, and the Justice card as well. So I think that there's like this need for like kind of like illusion and some depth and things like that. But at the same time, like there might be some weird hang-ups on wanting to be that promiscuous or wanting to be like that out. Yeah, the Devil card talks about, you know, not having as many inhibitions, and, you know, really feeling like that fiery, passionate energy. And I think that honestly, this person might have chose to kind of control it lately or tone it down. And the Justice card also comes up, so there might be like this push and pull between, you know, being a really good girl or being that like virginal girl, when at the same time you're kind of wanting all this like really freaky things to happen of the moment. Yeah, like, you know, hooking up with someone on a park bench, or, you know, being spotted out, you know, out of the lake and a couple of like hot guys show up or something. Who knows what could happen. But the one thing that I was kind of saying with the Hangman is to kind of like take the jump on these things instead of being so hesitant at times. Okay, thank you so much. That is option number 1. And if you'd like a personal reading, feel free to hit me up. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram as goddessgoddard. And feel free to send me an email if you'd like to book a personal reading. I would love to meet up with you. Okay, so I'm going to move on to group number 2. If you chose the Devil Baby, then this is the Pick a Card reading for you. So this is our little guy. I'm going to put him right here, and then we're going to get started with group number 2. So the first card that came up is the High Priestess card. We got the High Priestess holding a skull. Yeah, she's holding a skull. Love that. So into that. Okay, so we got the 3 of Water. We've got the 8 of Earth and the 9 of Water. And then over here we got the 9 of Wands. We got the Oracle card, which is like a High Priestess card, the 10 of Swords, and the 2 of Wands. Okay, so, and then I didn't get a chance to show you guys these ones. So this one is like a woman diving into a pool of water, naked. This one is a woman blowing on a flute and having film kind of wrap up around her. And then this one is a woman, I think she's getting splashed by puddles of water, but she's like lifting up her skirt, and you can see her bits. And I don't know if that one's like a sensational thing, or maybe she's like peeing, but there might be like kind of like a water sport type of thing going on with this. I'm also getting that because that we've got the High Priestess twice, that there might be kind of like a femdom type of situation going on, or maybe you know, like you might be into femmes. That might be something for you, or maybe cross-dressing or something like that is really big for you. And then I also see like maybe there's some fantasy regarding water. That's why I was saying like maybe water sports, like maybe getting like being into peeing on somebody, or maybe even like into making out in water, or, you know, if this is like for a lesbian couple, maybe getting like extra wet or something like that. And then also the other thing that I wanted to say is that we've got, we have like the crescent happen 3 different times. So this one's also happening on the 9 of Wands as well. So the crescent happens on the High Priestess, like on her hat. And then it's happening behind on this too. So definitely a very strong, like, feminine energy going on here. I think it's interesting with this 9 of Wands that she's licking this ice cream. So a little bit of sensation with like the mouth, and this one also looks kind of like a blowjob. So maybe there's like this sensation, like a oral fixation going on, and the Two of Wands is kind of like a tease card with like, you know, the schoolgirl with a, you know, skirt lifted up. You know, there's two cards that are showing like kind of the same motion going on with kind of being this tease, maybe showing off the crotch for a second. And let's see. And maybe that's something that you're into, is like, you know, maybe a little bit of voyeurism, or, you know, just like popping off like a little, like hinting at something publicly to somebody else. Like flashing a little bit might be like really like a turn on for you. Okay, moving on to pile number 3. So thank you so much for listening to that. Those are some of the kinks or the things that this person is into or you are into. So if you'd like to book a personal reading, hit me up at goddessgoddard on Facebook, Instagram, of YouTube, of course. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, hit me up at Gmail. All right, thank you so much. And, you know, feel free to hit that like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Okay, so moving on to number 3, we've got Oration. I think that's how it's said. I could be totally wrong. So the Lady in Flames, if you know how to say her name correctly, totally hit me up about that. If this is your card, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm gonna move on with these cards. So the first one we got is the Hermit card. And then we got, the Whore. So that Empress energy. And then we got the Princess of Wands. And then we got the Sun, El Sol. And so this card is 4 of Fire, and it's a man eating a woman out. So that could be something. The Lovers card popped up, and it's a woman being drawn by a man in like a drawing class. And then the Hermit card comes up again. So the Hermit might be talking about maybe liking just to stay home, you know, maybe not wanting to kind of progress forward. Also, I would think maybe with the Hermit that you might be into people that are a little bit older. Not necessarily like a daddy dom type of situation, but maybe more of like wanting to find somebody that's a little bit more experienced, or somebody that's kind of slow and steady is kind of the person. I feel like another thing here is that there's like this need for like body worship is totally a thing. So, you know, maybe it's a woman that usually seeks out an older man or something like that. But I think with like a woman getting eaten out and the Sun card and also the Whore, it's like kind of like wanting to be worshipped or wanting to be put on a pedestal. And the Hermit card is maybe talking about like not having somebody come forward or having some weird energy related to that in particular. I was thinking about maybe pulling another card. What is another card for this one? Oh, that one fell out. Ooh, okay, so this one's King of Earth, and it's a man that's dressed up like a priest, and there's like a woman like laying down by like the creek side, and I think she's just hanging out over there. She looks like a student, and it looks like he's about to like totally creep on her. Like he's like pulling up her skirt and like looking at her. I would say there totally is kind of like you know, like we said before, maybe into older men or something like that. daddy dom or daddy like type of situation. Is totally something that you're into. I didn't get any cards about anything like financially, but definitely like wanting like this man to worship you or take care of you or treat you. Okay, so moving on to section number 4. Oh yeah, so I was gonna say, if you wanted to book a personal reading, feel free to hit me up at goddessgoddard@gmail.com or visit me on Facebook or Instagram. And feel free to hit that like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for other videos, please let me know. I would totally love to check those out. All right, so our last one is the full, like this stack of skulls. So if you pick this stack of skulls, then this is the reading for you. Okay, so the first card is the Fool. The Fool card. Okay, and we've got the Magician card, and it's an alligator with like a robotic dildo on it. Interesting. We got 7 of Fire, and it's like a bunch of nurses kind of, I think they're like making love to like a man in a cot. We also got a woman making love to a man at a museum. And we've got the Temperance card, which looks really beautiful. It's like a woman surrounded in flowers on a seesaw. All right, and then the other cards that we got was the 9 of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the 3 of Coin, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so I'm kind of getting, okay, so the first thing that I'm seeing, because the Fool was the first card that came out, I'm kind of seeing that this is a person that kind of likes to start new things, and they might not be tied down to any particular partner, but they kind of like to keep things a little bit open. I'm also seeing that they're kind of into like really weird things, like, so they might have like some extreme types of fantasies that, you know, maybe they are things that they had to put together, maybe a DIY project, maybe they had to like go online to find people that are into the same stuff as them. There's definitely like this feeling of like having this inner community or this inner clique of people with like the 3 of Coins. These 3 people sitting together. But I'm also seeing that, you know, if I was going to say there's like another kink, it could be like maybe collecting toys might be a big thing for them. I think the other one is maybe some sort of weird medical play might be a thing with all these nurses. There's definitely a theme of groups as well. And I also feel like this particular person stays pretty busy because they don't like to let people know what it is that they're into. Like, they might keep it to themselves because they're worried that if like a potential partner knew what they were into, that this relationship would probably not work out. So for them, it might be easier just kind of being in like weird open poly relationship to be in a relationship with other people, maybe as like a triad or something, because the things that they're into are so different that it might not make sense to be on like a one-on-one partnership. And it also allows them to be kind of independent. Yeah, and the other card that came up was that Temperance card. So there's always like kind of this balancing act, I feel like, that's going on in their life, maybe with these extremes, like, you know, extremely strange, like, sexual things or toys, but at the same time, like, they have to balance their own life. And the 9 of Swords is like a lot. There's a woman putting swords into her legs, and I think that there might be some like self-infliction going on, or maybe like this feeling like they're not good enough. But I can tell that that's totally not true. I think people really like you or this person very much. The Wheel of Fortune too, I think it's also a lot of these things are dependent on whether or not other people are into it. So ups and downs, like maybe they're really taking off with like their fetish, and other times they might not be doing much with it. I'm gonna pull a quick relationship card for this person. Let's see. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moment. So it could be that this person has had a lot of like tumultuous relationships with people in the past. So I think that's why they like to stay a little aloof. Okay, well anyways, thank you so much for watching this quick pick a card reading. If you really like it, feel free to like and subscribe. Let me know which card you picked, and if you have any ideas for videos in the future, please let me know. I'm totally trying to do a bunch of different looks, and I would love to see what you come up with that. All right, and thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.